Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or in trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Tuesday, November 28th. We're going to take a look at our old friend SoFi today. So SoFi continuing to make its latest push off of its latest bottom. That was 641, coming up here almost $1 higher at this point. And it's getting mighty close to this downtrend resistance in this channel. So this channel it's been in since, about early August or so. Confirmed the top and the bottom several times. Now, what's interesting to me about this swing is two things. One, the swing high previous to the one that it may be putting in now, that stretched to the resistance level, was able to stretch out of it a decent amount. Now, it only lasted for a day, so it didn't really make any trend change differences, but that is of note. Now, did it have this mid swing, which obviously this is a lower swing than here, but it was well within the channel bounds, and it wasn't pushing the channel. So again, if this pushes the channel, I'm kind of interested if it can push up toward the 791, and if so, what does it do from there? Because obviously it could just do this, right? Hit the nearest in resistance level and then plummet right back down into the channel. So I'm interested in that. And then the other thing that's more interesting to me is all of these were like come off the top, press the bottom, bump the top, bump the bottom, bump the bottom, bump the top, and then a near miss off the bottom. That was where that stretch occurred, right? And then this one was not very close to the bottom bound of the channel, swing lower, right? That high was lower, but then when it came down again, it swung lower, but it was even further from the bottom bound of the channel, that distance versus that distance. And now it's coming up to maybe press the upper bound of the channel. There's some work still to do, right? If it comes up and does this in the next day or two, it'll need to come up to about 750 or so to really push it. So we'll see, but that's well within the realm of a day's work. And so I thought it could be interesting because these lows are getting pretty not tight in to the bottom bound of the channel like these ones over here. So given that that's sort of leveling out a bit, I thought maybe there's an opportunity for another swing like this. And every time there's an opportunity for a swing like this, it gives the chance that that sustains and that it doesn't get sucked back down into it. And knowing SoFi, we probably would know relatively quickly if it's going to get drawn back down into it or not. So that's sort of what I was looking at on the Webull chart. Now on the think or swim side of things, if we just grab the time that it's been in the channel, since it had left it previously, on this channel, it hasn't done much stretching toward the upper bound of the channel, except for here, which is the one that we were just looking at that pushed up outside of our Webull channel. And the difference here, obviously, is this is a fixed channel, right? And these are fixed support and resistance levels. Here, this channel and all of the levels within it, including the mid-range, are all dynamic, and they move with the price action. They change every time a candle gets put in. So in any case, that was able to push really, really close to the upper bound of the channel, which it had not had any motion that close in recent past. Still is coming off the bottom bound of this channel, so that's not super. But also, it's pretty chill on the histogram here. There's not a lot happening. It's almost sort of interesting that it's not starting to trigger on the TTM squeeze indicator. That hasn't happened since way back here. And that set off this sort of roller coaster that was mostly down, but was very roller coastery within the channel. And so I'm just kind of waiting to see if something is going to develop TTM squeeze indicator wise, because, with it sort of hugging the mid-range of the channel, or at least showing potential to hug the mid-range of the channel, histogram just sort of chilling, mostly hanging out near the baseline, no big pushes since way back here, and back here, bigger pushes. It's relatively just standard, maybe compressing some price action and gearing up for a big move. Now, I don't know which way the move goes, But that's sort of what has me interested as far as this goes. Let me move this down. It's making me crazy. So yeah, so that's the setup here. If this can continue to at least pin itself to the mid-range of the channel, or press upper bound to mid-range as opposed to lower bound to mid-range, right, and then return back to the lower bound, that might be able to further crush this bearish momentum on the histogram and might start to trigger the TTM squeeze indicator. We'll see. But that could be a developing setup. I don't know. That's pure speculation, obviously, that setup could even develop. The other one here is sort of a different development. If what we see over there sort of plays out, it would kind of just continue to use this 714 as support. It would just kind of sidestep its way through. Now, that could have a similar result where it sidesteps its way through and then gets a big bang one way or the other. If the TTM squeeze indicator does trigger and fire and it means anything. So that's where I'm looking right now, but really interested to see what happens here, since it's been many, many times recently that it's pushed off of that. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.